All right, we are live.
It still doesn't show it on my side. Okay, now it shows it. Welcome everyone to another Facebook Live with Dr. Nelva Bryant. My name is Greta Russo, and this is Dr. Bryant. Dr. Bryant, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As Greta said, I'm Dr. Bryant. I'm a veterinarian, and I work in the airline industry. I've been with Delta since around 2018 timeframe, and brought on staff to help review and revise the policies for animal transportation. Love that role. It's shown me a lot. It gave me an insight into the pet travel industry, basically, of knowing what I've discovered is that there's some things that pet owners can do to better prepare their pets for air travel. So I started this platform, When Pets Fly, to share that pet-centered travel education. And we've been growing. Gosh, it's been 5 years for us now. And we have our social media presence on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We have a YouTube page. We have a website if you're interested in seeing a lot of the information that we share is on the website. Actually, we write articles and blogs just to share information for you. The website is www.winpets.com. So go check that out, please. We also have a newsletter you can sign up to receive. And actually, our latest one came out in December, and that's just packed full of valuable information. We have guest writers. We dive deep into really some of the things that you're not aware of as far as traveling with your pet, some of the regulations that's involved with it. So really just trying to be a resource for pet owners, veterinarians, and airline industry alike to gather or have a resource to share pet-centered travel education. So that's what I've been doing these past few years. Greta's joined me a good 4 years ago, and we started doing these Facebook Lives. And these really represent sharing information with the different stakeholders in the animal transportation industry. You learn so much about just various aspects of transport and also the various resources that are available for pet owners. So that's what we've been doing these past few years. I'm going to stop now, Greta. Please introduce yourself. And if there's any topics or anything you want to discuss, any, animals and travel news, let's talk about it.
Oh, welcome everyone. My name is Greta Russo, and I've been on this marketing journey with Dr. Bryant since the beginning, pretty much, and it has been a fun travel. It's almost like a magic carpet ride. We head out in one destination, and then we just go where the flow takes us, and with that, we've met so many different people, as Dr. Bryant has mentioned, and brought them onto the show because we found that the whole animal transport area, the industry itself, really encompasses more than just the mode of transportation and the animal. There's so much more that goes into it. And we want to explore that so that we can bring the news of what's going on and tips around that to you. And also with animal transportation, and more importantly, pet transportation by air is becoming more and more popular. I believe there's going to be even more changes as far as regulations in the new year, and even the way that we do things. And I just wanted to mention to something that Dr. Bryant has been saying for years now. Change starts with us. So there are crates in particular that you should be using when it comes to airline transportation. And that's where it's most important for the animal's safety and to protect them and to keep them not so stressed out. And so I just wanted to take a moment to reiterate with Dr. Bryant that, number one, we had this on our social media. There's when you have to get a good crate that follows, I believe it's IATA regulations. You want to go to IATA's site to get what they require. Dr. Bryant did a great article, I believe it was in our newsletter, about there's a difference between airline approved and IATA compliant A lot of the crates on the market are using marketing tactics to get you to buy them, but they're not safe for your animal. And safety should be a pet parent's number one concern. So you want to, number one, make sure you get an IATA compliant crate. So make sure you go to IATA's website, or even our website. We have it on our website where you can look up what your crate needs. And two, measuring your pet is so important. Making sure your pet can fit in it appropriately. We did a post about that this week, shared another company's post, and they showed exactly how to measure, your dog in a crate. So you want to make sure you're not stuffing them in there.
Right.
And,
don't mind me adding, you're so right on that, because a lot of times pet owners will use the same crate, and I'm saying it might be for dogs or cats, but they'll use the same crate they used to maybe potty train them when they were younger, and now they're adult size, and this crate is sitting in the closet somewhere, and they'll pull it out and think, oh yeah, this is perfectly fine. But now the crate is actually a whole lot smaller, and you're shoving your pet in there. And I've seen photos of dogs that were crammed in these crates, and the pet owner thinking it's sufficient and it's okay, and it's not okay. Imagine you being cramped up in a seat and can't move and everything during air travel. With them, that, and then the stress and everything on top of it, what it could do to them. So it's really important to make sure you met this dimensions, not their weight too, because a lot of these airline compliant crates, they say it's by the weight of the pet, and that's totally incorrect. It's by their dimensions, as that, I believe it was a post by, was Air Pets, I believe. It was a wonderful, wonderful video that they developed on how to measure you. Mm-hmm.
And you brought up a good point. Like there are crates that are good to take your pet to the veterinarian, or even on a car ride to the park or wherever it may be. But it's so different with an airline, because there's so much more that can go on within in the aircraft itself. But more importantly, when an animal gets so scared, they'll break out at anything, and you don't want them breaking out and getting inside of an airplane, just wandering around. You don't want them to get into an airport and just wandering around. So you really, really have to follow what the regulations are, just to make sure your pet is safe. And before you even get to the airline, you want to make sure that there's a lot of training in the prep that you do with your dog, more so. And one of those trainings is making sure they're acclimated to the crate, because the crate and the carrier is a soft one, the crate is the hard one. Both of those are your pet's safe haven. When they are trained to enjoy this container, they actually want to be in there because of all the scary noises that happen at the airport or that happen inside the airplane. They want to be in there. So you need to get them acclimated to be comfortable and just relax for several hours inside this container. I know this past week there was a video, and they didn't show, I don't know what airline it was on, but a cat got out of its container, and the flight attendant, a male flight attendant, was holding it, walking up and down the aisle looking for the owner. Now you would think they would jump up and say, hey, it's mine, but nobody did. And it's like, if you just kept it closed, the cat would not be out of the carrier.
Right.
So those are some important things to remember.
Yeah, and also, you bring another thing that I saw. A lot of folks they're bringing their small puppies, and it's unfortunate. It looks like some folks have been pushed off airlines because they'll have puppies that are whining and crying on the aircraft. The main thing about pets being traveled in cabin is that they're really almost like invisible. You're really not supposed to notice they're there. So if they're noisy, I can understand it happening. And I'm really sorry it's happening in these situations. But maybe there's something you could do to remedy it prior to getting on the aircraft. How about maybe taking them to the pet relief area, make sure they get a good potty break, maybe play with them and get them tired, because puppies, once they get comfortable and relaxed, they'll probably fall asleep. So find ways to kind of get that energy out and maybe put a toy or something they can nibble on. And that'll take maybe the anxiety and stress off of them by, again, have a nice potty break, get some water, maybe a few treats, and a nice, not a squeak toy, but a toy, something that they can chew on or something and keep them occupied. That might help them during transport for these young puppies. Just wondering about that.
Yeah. And also, don't forget that you can train puppies, so train them to get acclimated to the crate. And, that will make the trip a little less, puppies are always on the go. They're a burst of energy and then they're sound asleep. So, but in the meantime, just get the puppy acclimated to enjoying the crate, and, you'll have a better flight as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, I'm excited to bring Vail Weymann out here, and we will learn about a new pet parent community. So let's get her going out here. Hi, Vail.
Vail.
How are you guys?
Great.
Doing great. I'm going to read your introduction so people know about you and Pupwise, and then we'll get this started. Okay. Vail Weymann is the founder and CEO of Pupwise, a free platform that gives dog parents clear answers and the real world tools to act on them. She created Pupwise after facing what so many dog parents do. Products purchased from every direction and advice scattered everywhere, with no bigger story to make sense of it all. Pupwise brings context together, along with trusted resources so everyday decisions feel simple and intentional. Vail is a former managing director of UBS and the global COO of the Dwight Schools, and she now lives in Connecticut with her husband, 3 kids, and a very opinionated pack of pets. Everyone, please help us welcome Vail Weymann.
Oh,
thank you.
Yes,
thank
we
you.
have a lot of animals at our house, so I've had a lot of experience with them all. Yeah.
What do you have? Tell us what you have at home.
Oh gosh. Don't judge me, but we have 2 dogs, which are 2 rescues. We have 6 chinchillas. There's a story for that another day. We didn't start with 6. 3 rabbits, a bearded dragon, and we rescued a bird from the street, like a pet bird. So we have a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
We love animals in our house, and the kids love them too. So it's a lot of fun.
That's good. You have a household, big household. Wow, my goodness.
We do. Very busy.
Very, very.
But fun.
Well, I am happy you're here with us, and I'm glad to have you share more information about Pupwise and everything. So definitely, I'm sorry, Greg, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, share what you can about Pupwise. What gave you the idea to do this? I mean, again, it's great because I agree with you. There's so much information out there. You don't know what's valid. You just don't know. And then you don't know what's a marketing, it's difficult for pet owners. So having a resource to find information, same as honestly what I've done with When Pets Fly on my website, just a resource you can go to and find that valuable information is important. So, but you hit on multiple topics, right?
We do. So we, this whole sort of idea started, many, many years ago. We were living in the city, my husband and I, our son was 1 year old. We had a really frustrating day at work. And I said, I'm just going to go out and adopt a dog today. I know it's crazy, but sometimes I do these things. And so we went out, we adopted this dog from the ACC in Manhattan, brought this dog home, and red-nosed pit bull mix, had some challenges, but with humans, wonderful. What we didn't realize was how dog aggressive this dog was, right? So we would, and in the shelter had been very, it was still in shock, right? So those attributes weren't really showing yet. Anyway, long and short of it is, we would never give up on any dog. And so we spent a lot of our own time and resources trying to understand how to live with a dog and how to manage a dog that had all these challenges. and the number of hours that I spent, the number of products that I bought that didn't live up to what they said they did, the number of trainers that work with us that just really didn't know what they were doing. It was a frustrating experience, but it was really eye-opening. And what I thought was there had to be a better way. There had to be a better resource or a way to get information that you could trust, and then also be exposed to different products and services that actually could help you solve whatever it was you were solving. I'm a pretty logical thinker. I'm a very linear thinker. So I always start with a question that I have, and then I want to dive deeper into that question, do all the research, understand it. And then when I get to the end and I feel like I have a good sense for what the answer is, then I think, okay, what's next? Now, how do I move to this next step of finding a service or a product that can help me action what I've just learned, right? And that didn't exist. And so I thought, well, I'm going to build it. I'm going to build a platform where we are focused on educating dog parents around different topics. And I'm going to bring into those educational pieces, which are now our master classes, the resources that we vetted that can really support that learning, and really help dog parents get from point A, which is I have something that I'm trying to understand better, to point B, which is okay, now I understand it, and now I know how to solve and take that forward. And that's really why we created Pupwise and what it is today.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great. That's great. And I know that we actually I guess we first got in contact with you maybe the beginning of this year, I want to say, or was it last year? And so it's been like a journey for you, because you even said to us, we reconnected, we started off one way and now we are something different. Yeah. And that's just the way business is. And you have to be fluid like that. But I love the new journey that you are going into. And trust me, even though you're starting off like this, you're going to continue to modify as years go on with what the client demands are. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really funny. When we started off, we were originally thinking less in terms of longer form content and more in terms of sort of snippets of information. And what we realized was that we kind of live in a world of snippets right now, right? Everything is quick, fast, and interestingly enough, the feedback we got was these snippets are great, but we want more context around what this snippet is all about, right? And that got me thinking, well, of course, like whenever you buy something, you want to understand why you're buying it and the context by which it supports whatever you're trying to do, right? And so that is why we started moving towards longer form master classes, because our users wanted more context around the topic. They wanted to go deeper into a topic at their own pace. And so really the master classes that we created are, in a sense, short form master classes, because they are a series of lessons that are all connected together around a certain topic. And each lesson is anywhere from, let's say, 600 to 800 words. So you can get through each lesson quickly, but it's still connected to a larger topic that you can then kind of learn at your own pace. And so now all of a sudden we have both the shorter form content, but in the context of a larger, more thorough piece that helps people really understand the full picture of what they're learning. And so that was really the change that we made.
So what need were you seeing among dog parents that Pupwise was designed to fill?
Sure. It was a couple of things. One is the rabbit holes that we all go down, right? The rabbit holes we go down trying to get to an answer or get to a product or service that can help us. And as you mentioned earlier on, I love the way you said these sort of marketing tactics, right? There's a lot of stuff out there.
Right.
There's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of products and services. And I think the biggest challenge is, one, understanding and deciphering what's accurate. And even you said in the beginning, the difference with the crates, right? They market around these airline compliant crates. And the reality is, well, not necessarily, right? And so there's a lot of information out there that is misleading. And so really the first problem we were trying to solve was, okay, let's work with the subject matter experts, the ones that don't have a bias towards a product or a service or what have you, that have the right information. Let's get the right information first, right? And then let's make sure that the 30, 40, 50 different products that are sort of made to solve that problem. We're choosing the ones that actually do solve the problem, right? And so we're helping the consumer not only understand, but then narrow the focus of the products and service that can support that learning. And so those were sort of the gaps that we were trying to fill. And as a dog parent, you can spend hours and hours and hours on the learning piece. And then you get to the point where, okay, now I sort of understand it. Now I've got to go down all these other rabbit holes for products and services, and how do I choose there? And so we're just trying to make that process of getting from point A to point B faster, simpler, and ensure that our dog parents feel more empowered, that they're making intentional decisions based on their situation for their dog. And so that's really what we're focused on.
Very interesting. Oh, to add on to as far as the crates, there's a new one out where they think that the crates should be TSA approved crates.
Oh, wow.
And TSA does not do anything as far as a standard for crates for transporting pets, but that's out there now too, as far as so airline approved, TSA approved. It's like marketing.
Crazy. It's great. It is, exactly. And because we are not the experts, our team, we're not selling a product. So we can be brand agnostic, and we truly are trying to find the best resources. So we're going down the rabbit holes for the consumer so that they don't have to. That's good.
That's good. Just it is the education piece on there. So you're diving deep to at least educate them the right way of what's going on. And then if you can make it more of an educated decision moving forward instead of taking whatever that's out there,
Exactly. And look, sometimes we'll raise a certain service that we think is fantastic, like what you're doing. Like, we want people to know about your service. We want people to know that you exist and that you can fill this void and this gap, right? But then sometimes there are 3 or 4 or 5 products, probiotics or what have you, that can solve the problem. And so what we're also doing is, in those cases, because we're brand agnostic, we just want to make sure that we can narrow the focus. So when we talk about probiotics, we create Amazon shopping lists. So if you do have a budget, these are the 3 or 4 probiotics on the market that can work for you. You choose. We're not here to tell dog parents what to do or what products to use. We're just trying to help make sure that if they do choose to take that next step, that we're at least making that process easier for them. And so they feel confident and empowered to make decisions that are really in their dog's best interest and not based on kind of all the hype that's out there.
Yeah. I mean, think about all the things that are up hype right now. We got the probiotics issue.
Yep.
What about the CBDs? I mean, there's all these over-the-counter things, CBD, and everyone thinks that's the best thing or they should use it for the pet. Number one, they're probably not even there's sufficient amount of CBD in it that's out there. So you got to worry about that. Yep. And it may not be sufficient for your animal and everything. I'm sorry, I lost a train of thought of what other point I had with it, but it may not be the best for them just because it's out there. There's a lot of folks that you could say white label and say, oh, I'm going to just use this and I'm going to say that it does this, but has it really been tested? Has it been vetted? You don't know. And the average consumer doesn't have the time to dig that deep and understand. I mean,
our team spends hours researching and hours talking to veterinarians just to come and, we have about 165 resources that we have on our site. I mean, each one takes us hours to research to make sure that it's good for the dog parent.
That's wonderful.
So
what I was going to say is, as far as the CBD, using it properly. A lot of folks think CBD is used like a regular, just like I'm taking something one time and it's supposed to help. It's an additive effect in the body too. So that's not even shared. So yeah. But no, I'm glad. So you really have a lot of expert advice for everyone through your resources.
We do. And we've spent, and again, it's genuine. We don't have a bias towards one or the other. We're building it out of my own personal frustrations of finding it really difficult to access good information. So it's been a lot of fun. And it's really funny. So as you were talking about different things, I'm purposely jotting notes because we're constantly, as we learn more, we're constantly updating the resources in our user experience because new things come out all the time. So it's this sort of evolving, growing, living, breathing organism that hopefully, is going to always be up to date.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely. And your Pupwise is coming in at a fantastic time, because how many times have you looked through the news or social media and you've seen countries claiming that their pet ownership outnumbers being new parents and stuff like that. So, people, especially these younger generations, well, you probably are younger than me, but
I don't know.
everybody
You look
is,
really young to me. I don't think so.
everyone is buying a cat and a dog and a bird, and, foregoing having kids, and God forbid getting married and everything. So, the culture change across the world is that pets are more important. They're not just something in the backyard. They're not just something to play with the kids or just a stray in the neighborhood. Pets are becoming more and more in the forefront, and they're becoming more and more important. And because of that, laws and regulations will follow suit, and should a lot of these companies doing better and researching to do better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's exciting. I mean, I remember when I had my first child, I had no idea what to do. What do I need? What do I do? And so we're sort of like that for dog parents. We're just trying to cut through it for people. Like, just here, this is what you need to know, and these are the options. And if you want to go out and get some fancy things, great, but this is what you need to know as a starting point.
That's outstanding, because I mean, again, you go on Facebook and you see these different groups, and sometimes the questions that people ask about, that I see that they ask about their pets. Number one, I was like, wow, you shouldn't ask that question in a group like that. Some of it is like veterinary assistance needed ASAP, and you're asking your Facebook.
Wrong forum, right?
Yeah, it's like, wow, you should not be there with that. But I mean, again, they talk amongst each other on these things, and sometimes the information they share is totally incorrect.
Totally.
I even, like I said, make me think of folks again saying about vaccines, and you shouldn't vaccinate against rabies. It's like, folks, do you realize the risk you're taking for yourself and for your pet? Because if it's bitten by a rabid animal, they're not going to just say, oh, well, we'll see if he develops signs. No, he's going to be euthanized because he's not vaccinated. And then your potential exposure too, which could be fatal. Yeah. So you can't play around. And again, the information is shared amongst these groups, amongst folks that have no idea what they're talking about. So your resource is outstanding. As far as contacting you, you can say, I know we usually leave it towards the end, but I mean, do you have a presence on Facebook, or how would we know about you on social media?
Right. So we use more Instagram. It's at Get Pupwise is our handle. We'll expand to Facebook. We've been so focused on getting the content and the information, but we are on Instagram. And today, actually, we just launched, just why it's such a fun day. We just launched our sort of Pupwise 2.0. So really the narrowing of focus onto our master classes, which is really exciting. So new website, new web presence. So we used to just have an app on the App Store, and now we are available to everyone on our website. So please go check it out. Let us know what you think. We have some really exciting additional features and functionalities coming over the coming weeks to kind of keep it exciting. So I won't divulge what that is yet, but yeah, no, it's free. It's there. It's web-based now, and getpupwise.com is the website. But we'd love people's feedback on what they think and what we're missing and what we can do better, and that's how we grow.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, what makes Pupwise different from other pet care resources?
It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. So, like I mentioned, there's a lot of information out there, right? There's blogs, there's this, there's that, and they're all wonderful. But again, we're trying to streamline it so that we can kind of get a lot of different things in one place, because a lot of those blogs, they don't cover all the topics, or they're written to sell a product, right? There's a lot of that out there as well. So how are we different? We're brand agnostic, right? So our intentions are, how do we support the dog parent? How do we empower them to make good decisions? How do we empower them to make intentional decisions within the context of what they're trying to solve, right? We're free. Pet care is so expensive. it's only getting more expensive. And we really thought long and hard about this and decided, look, we don't want to add to that burden. We want dog parents to get to the right resources. We want them to get the right information, and we don't want to put a financial barrier to be able to do that. So we are free. We don't sell our own product, right? So we're not marketing a supplement. We're not marketing a dog toy. We are going out there into the world, identifying the smartest in their area of expertise and working with them to create short form content in the form of masterclasses. And finally, the thing that makes us different is we're very practical. So all of our masterclasses have activities that you can do to practice what you've learned. We're going to be releasing some fun gamification to test your knowledge of what you've learned. So lots of fun things coming. So I'd say that's what makes us really different. Brand agnostic. We're completely free. We are short form learning, and we connect that learning to resources so that you can get kind of from point A to point B in one place.
That's great. That's great. Let's see. Traveling with pets can be stressful. What challenges do you hear the most?
It's funny. A lot of challenges. We actually had a lot of fun. We worked with a number of different experts, you guys included, to write our masterclass on traveling with dogs. And a lot of it is around airline regulations and rules and sort of being caught off guard, right? Not having everything that they need. The other thing is around making sure that their dog is prepared to fly medically, right? And understanding how to again, assume that your dog is safe to fly. Don't assume. You need to go to a vet who specializes in this and make sure that your dog. And so that's also a challenge. So those are the two biggest ones: is the paperwork and the documentation, and then also getting their dog ready to fly, both medically and then from a behavioral standpoint as well.
Well, yeah, definitely. Let me just talk on, you were saying being medically prepared to fly. See, the misconception out there too is that, they have to have a health certificate, right? And the term health makes you think your pet is healthy. Their pet can be given a health certificate even if they have diabetes, heart disease, or what have you. So it's not assessing for that. It's actually saying that there's no signs, the veterinary is signing and attesting that there's no clinical signs of your pet having a infectious or communicable disease at that present time of examination. And that's totally different from diabetes, heart disease.
Totally different. Yep, that's a really good point.
So you can get a health certificate and fly, and if your pet, unfortunately, say gets ill or dies during transport, you can't blame anything out of that because your pet had an underlying condition. And I always say, God forbid, if I have a heart attack on a flight, I can't turn around and sue the airline for me having a heart attack. They can't be a blame for that. So pet owners must make sure their pets are medically fit to fly. And the only one that can assess that is through your veterinarian doing a thorough medical history evaluation. Who knows? Your pet might need further diagnostic testing to make sure everything, internal organ function, everything is perfectly fine before he travels. So we got to start checking into that. So that's one key point that they need to understand as far as a health certificate, what it means and what it doesn't mean, basically.
Yeah. I love that. And I actually think I need to go back and even clarify that further in our masterclass. So thank you. I'm going to go. Another example of always trying to make it better and more clear for the dog parent. We can do that better. Yeah,
there's a lot of things we can come up with just thinking. And that feedback is great that you've given. The airline regulations and rules, just realize it's different for each airline. You can't assume it's across the board. And that's what does make it difficult for pet owners, because Delta's one way, American Airlines another, United might be another, Alaska might be another way. But if you're flying on that particular airline, you must follow their policies. And my recommendation, put in a newsletter this past month, print out this information for you. Print it out. Take it with you. So if an agent was saying, oh, no, well, here it is in writing. This is what it says. Because unfortunately, sometimes you might get an agent that's new, not familiar with some of the policies, even though they're working there. Unfortunately, think about all the things they have to handle as far as accepting animals and everything. So who knows, they might not be up to speed as others. So print it out, bring it to you. They say, oh no, this isn't allowed. Well, it says here it is allowed. Bring it with you.
That's great. It's a great idea.
Now, another thing to expand on the health certificates, we have to keep reminding people that only accredited veterinarians can sign the health certificates. It's not your regular veterinarian. And so unfortunately, the pet parent has to look for one of those. And, they're not just in every office. So, Vail, it might be very helpful for Pupwise to start creating a library of accredited veterinarians in different states, because,
There's actually
the veterinarian
that exists.
Yeah.
There's actually a directory that exists.
You do. Yep. I think I saw it on your site too, which is awesome for them to see that.
We did.
Just like
so
I said,
we flag that in the lesson when we talk about the health certificate, and we talk about the importance of making sure you're going to an accredited vet, and we actually add the link to that directory right there.
Perfect.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Because to your point, Greta, it's that the average dog parent's not going to understand that, nor are they going to know that where to find that resource or that directory. So we don't just provide products and services. We're also directing dog parents to directories and resources like this that can, again, help them action what they're trying to do. So I'm glad you brought that up. Super important.
You know what? The one thing to think about though, Pupwise now, is it just US based information we're giving out? Are we considering other countries if they look at it? Because think about it, if they're from another country, they're not going to have a USDA. That's a US thing. Right. So finding an accredited veterinarian is not something that they need to do to come here to the US. Usually if they're not a US based, it must be a veterinary authority in their country of origin. And I don't know how you would find that. I don't even know if there's a directory with all the different countries with it, but you might just want to mention that for those that are outside the US, that they need to check with the veterinary authority in their country of origin.
That's great. I'm going to add that as well. Mm-hmm. Our primary reader right now is a US based dog parent. Hopefully as we grow and expand and we get so large, we'll have to expand globally.
Yeah, you can expand. So just something to consider.
I love it. Well, again, we're gonna put that in there and make sure that's more clear. So this is why I love doing this, because I feel like every day I'm picking up more insights that I want to then push back to the world. So great.
Yeah. We realized that too, because for the longest time, like yourself, Vail, we were just reaching people in the United States, and then now we're worldwide. We're in over 25 countries. Amazing. And, so when Dr. Bryant and I are talking, we always have to make sure that we say in the United States or internationally, because the international authorities are so much different from the United States in a lot of things that we do. So, yeah. Great. And that can confuse a lot of readers or watchers, because they're automatically assuming you're speaking about from wherever they're watching from.
Well, you know what, Vail, just a thought for you too. Do you have a section? And I apologize, I haven't reviewed everything for pet travel that you have on there as of yet, but I'm just curious. Do you have anything on CDC's regulations on folks leaving the country, the U.S., and coming back to the U.S. with their dogs specifically? Because, oh my God, if they don't do that right, their dog won't make it back in here.
We do, but I would love for you to also review it and make sure everything is accurate.
Okay.
We do. I'm not the expert on pet travel, so I'm not going to even begin to. I've read so many master classes, I don't want to get my facts wrong, right. But we do. But I would love you to take a look, and if there's anything that you think we've misrepresented or needs to change based on the other travel experts we've spoken to, please let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
That's been that.
Let's see. Are there tools or resources that can help make traveling smoother?
There are. And like everything within the Pupwise experience, it's all relative to the context by which, you need them or they help your dog, right? Some dogs have different personalities, some dogs different. So for me, just sort of recommending things, which is what kind of the world does, it's great, but outside of the context of why or what's it for, or why does, or your own personal dog, they're somewhat meaningless. So what we're going to do, which we're really excited about, is we are going to send people that are watching this show on a treasure hunt inside Pupwise. to help them find 6 resources and tools that we love, that if they agree after kind of understanding the context by which these resources support travel, if it makes sense for them, then they found something new. So great, you put up our little treasure hunt. I will give you a clue that we sort of like the Where's Waldo, we've sort of hidden some visual clues in here as well about what those 6 are. But if you guys are okay with that, maybe we could talk about the rules and kind of how it works and go. Is now a good time for that?
Yeah.
Okay, this is great. So really the goal is, how do we help people understand the value that Pupwise delivers? And so we thought that we would use this amazing live stream to get people in the app. Again, it's free. And using the app and understanding how when you put resources in the context of the learning, they really make more sense, and they really help you make a smarter, more intentional buying decision if it makes sense for you. So I'm going to read the rules, and then we're going to talk through how this works. So essentially, we have hidden within the Pupwise experience 6 different resources. We're going to give you the clues today. And each resource will be noted with a little paw and then a little link next to it. The link is going to take you to a Google form, sort of like the answer key. So once you've found all 6 resources based on the clue, you fill this little Google form. If you are correct with all 6, then you get entered into a drawing to win $150 cash debit card for the holidays. So be 18 years of age or older, and of course have to be a U.S. citizen. So anything before I go to the clues, do you think I missed anything with the rules, guys, or do you think it's pretty clear?
No.
Well, I want to, Gail, just make sure that we let people know that the contest is only on 2 days, and it is the 8th and the 9th. That's Monday, the 8th and the 9th.
Yep.
So that's the 2 days that it's on, and the winner will be announced on the 12th. So I wanted to make sure, and we'll definitely post this on social media, but I wanted to make sure we said that so people aren't trying to look for everything now, and you get hit with a lot of DMs. Where do I find it?
No, so we know that a lot of people, are working right now, and that they probably listened to this over the weekend. So we intentionally decided to start the contest on Monday, give everybody about 48 hours. You can go in now if you want to, but you will not find the paw prints, because the paw prints will not be put in there until a few minutes before the clock strikes midnight on Monday. So, but you will have the clues now, so you can begin to look around if you want. All right. Would it be helpful if I read them out loud? Or do you want? Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Right. Clue number 1: a quiet confidence in a crowded place. This gentle helper travels invisibly. Okay, that's clue number 1. Clue number 2: when adventure hands you a scrape or a surprise, this tiny kit keeps small problems small. Clue number 3: for journeys that cross borders and clock zones, this guide turns red tape into green lights. Clue number 4: long layover ahead, this clever tool shows your pup where relief is just around the corner. Clue number 5: built for bumps, landings, and everything in between, this fortress keeps your travelers secure. And final clue for this Pupwise treasure hunt: when the unexpected happens far from home, this quiet protector helps soften the blow. So we will leave you with those clues.
Very good.
I also mentioned before that in the visual that I think you guys showed before, I have hidden some clues within this visual as well, so you can start looking, but you will not know whether you found the clues until Monday, when we actually put those paw prints in the masterclass lessons.
Okay, so Vail, I have a couple questions. So let's say I'm a dog parent, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do this because I love games.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to. I'm going to your website to do the game, or am I going inside the app?
Great question. So you're going to go to the website, we've launched a brand new website today, and you are going to sign in. So at the upper right, it'll say either sign in or get started, depending on if you have been in the app before. Like I said, it's free. So it's just a way for us to make sure that we know who's in there and that we can get hold of you. But it is completely free. So you go to the website, you go inside the experience on the web. And when you get inside, you're going to start to see a list of master classes. If you click on the master class, you'll see the lessons that make up the master class. You'll see the resources down below that we pull out to make it easier to go back and find those resources. But what you need to do is you need to actually go inside the lessons and look for the products or the services that are the answers to these clues. Once you found it, you'll know you found one of the answers because there'll be a little paw print icon next to that product or service reference. And there'll also be a link to our answer key. So that answer key link is the same for all of them. Again, it's a short survey. So once you think you found all 6, you go click on that link and you fill out the form. If you get all 6 right, then you enter into the drawing to win $150.
Awesome.
That's amazing. I'm sure you'll get a lot of people doing this because people just love to play games.
It's fun. I was thinking, gosh, I should do this more often. I actually really enjoyed putting it together and learned a lot myself too. So who knows if the response is strong, maybe we'll do it around other topics as well. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And please let us know who wins. Share your announcement with us, and we'll help share that with our audience.
Great.
And just to remind people, the journey starts on the new and improved website, getpupwise.com.
Yep.
So that's
please
amazing.
give us your feedback. We're here for dog parents. We genuinely want to help you make better decisions. We genuinely want to empower you. So please, good, bad, ugly, great, let us know what you think, and we'll continue to make it a better experience for you.
Fantastic. Is there any last minute things that you would like to share with everyone, Vail and Dr. Bryant?
You know, I guess the only thing I would say, and then I'll turn over to Dr. Bryant, is if you are somebody who offers an incredible service, who offers a product that maybe a lot of people don't know about, it's a resource gem that you want people to know about, reach out to us. Tell us what it is, and if we think it's a fit, then we'd love to include it. Again, we're trying to do the research for dog parents. So please come to us too if you have something that you really think is going to change the way people care for their dogs. And
Mm-hmm.
if it works and fits within our masterclass, then we'd be happy to showcase it.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome. You know, it just makes me think, and I'm sorry I haven't looked through everything you have yet, but do you have something on nutrition? And you know, the key thing everyone wants to do is raw diets and all that. Like
No raw diets, please.
Yeah. So you have
like raw. Yeah, we do. We have Foundations of Feeding, which is sort of a basic. We have home cooking. We have all sorts of wonderful resources on nutrition.
Perfect. I'm glad, because that's a definite need with all that you still, again, you go to Facebook or Instagram, you see some crazy things that people are doing.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, really not in the best interest for their pet. So I'm glad you have a resource.
Yeah, we do. But growing. So obviously we'll expand on those as well. We have about 30 master classes and we're expanding every day. Excellent.
Give a brief summary. I know you're not giving me 30 of them, but just give some ideas of some subjects that you cover, if you don't mind.
Great. Oh yeah. We cover nutrition. We cover gut health. We cover this is a really cool one. So we worked with a company called Give a Shit. I don't know if you know, they do compostable dog bags. I know, kind of a funny name. Mm-hmm. They are real pioneers in living an eco-friendly life with your dog. And so we have a master class called the Eco Dog Life, which is so cool. In fact, it's so neat that I'm starting to compost my own dog's poop. Gross, but it's amazing. I love that one. We have traveling, of course, with your pet, which you know about. We have end of life care, which I think is a sensitive topic, but I think it's an important one. We have how to run with your dog safely. We have so many. We have healthy weight management, where we sort of talk about what that means for longevity. We have how to biohack your dog's life. So some of the latest technology out there to help your dog live a longer, healthier life. We have one on bringing home a rescue dog. We have one on taking care of puppies. We have a whole bunch of them out there. So it's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed working with the experts to write them.
I love it. Bill, you're doing a deep dive for folks that don't understand the whole situation, just different topics that they don't know and understand. So it's wonderful that you're doing that. Really wonderful.
Great, thanks. Well, I think I'm enjoying it as much as hopefully people are enjoying learning from it. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
no, that's perfect. No, I have nothing further to add. Thank you for sharing more as far as all the different topics within Pupwise, because again, it's extremely important for everyone to have a valid resource, a vetted resource that you can go to and learn more in depth about your pet and just different questions you might have. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, I learned a lot today too. So I thank you so much for having me. I'm I'm gonna go jump right back into the app and make some updates just right after we get off.
Mm-hmm. No, that's perfect.
So thank you.
Well, Vail, thank you so much for coming. And I know that what you've built is a trusted community. And I know that pet parents I should say dog parents, will really enjoy what they find there. And because you did the research and you vetted and made sure that, what people were saying is accurate and truthful, that will go a long way. And, it's nice to know that in one place, there is trusted information. So I just want to thank you as a pet parent, a cat parent. I won't be able to use it, but
you never know. We'll see.
That's good.
Absolutely. So, but yeah. So thank you for creating that. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for another fantastic Facebook Live with Dr. Nelva Bryant. Can you believe you're our second to last for 2025? We got one more and then we start all over again. So we'll definitely have to bring you back, Vail.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate it. I would love to come back whenever it makes sense for you guys. So thank you very much for having me. It's been a wonderful afternoon.
Absolutely. Everyone, enjoy your Friday and your weekend. And I hope to see you next week when we have our very last show for 2025 with the world-renowned Dr. Adam Chrisman. For now, everyone have a great weekend and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.